Yo, 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 yo. What's good, my people? What is good? It's your boy Jason Gooner. We're back in the place, people. Week 31 review show, EPL, 10 matches played in the books. We're gonna recap all 10 matches, talk about the incidents in the games. Of course, we have to do the champion of the week, and we have to reveal the donkey of the week as well, people. You see in the title, UCL preview and predictions as well. So we are going to be doing a little preview for the Champions League matches Tuesday and Wednesday. Bonus, might even look at the Europa Conference League and thing and try just drop some thoughts on those as well. And of course, FPL in the books for the week. See how Man side did. Yeah, it's been a bit off. Not gonna lie, people, it's been off. See if we could have bounced back this week. Yes, people. Big up Red Skull Wagwan, bro. It's a bad weekend. Yeah, well, we're gonna see how bad it was, It was definitely bad for Arsenal. Again, it's a case of what might have been another week where we drop points. Liverpool, they're wobbling a bit, people. That's 3 losses in the last 4 games, all fixtures, So, yeah, this is actually the centenary year 1985. It's a 1985 kit. This was the 100 years of Arsenal kit. Yeah. I've never been to the Emirates before, Zine, and my father went to London with my mother. This was, I don't remember how long, this was a few years now. And they were sold out. I wanted the kit from that season, but they were sold out. So the only thing they had at the store at the stadium was these centenary kits. So Pops did ask me, like, should he get it and thing? I'm say, yeah man, let's get that. I'm glad still, because it's vintage, And then one time we have JVC on the shirt, we used to win some trophy and things. So make me feel good. Youth. Owen, yeah, real creepy, Big up yourself, Owen. Owen. I don't know why you put your name twice. I don't know. Red Skull, I did with laugh. Big up yourself, Skull. Float. Oh, go on, brother. There, another week in the books, So we're there for the review show. Yeah, man, I wait till people them start rolling. Also, I watch Arnett Tivoli. Anybody watch the Arnett Tivoli game? Or West Kingston Derby? Big up to BAM Sports TV and Unseen Sports TV, giving the footage since Sportsmax had joke out this thing. I don't know how Sportsmax don't have them 2 games. Double that at Arnett tonight. No games. Games listed on Sportsmax in the title at the time slot, Them 2 games, them not show. Them show some old game. Brother, I don't understand what's going on. I'm going to joke out the thing, star. There's some little fool reasons as to why, but I'm not buying none of them things there. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me, people. No sense at all. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Man was busy. Let me see, Saturday, full football dad mode. Julie have 2 games. Lose 1, win 1. She play well in the 2 games them though. It's proud of her because the game where them lose, them will have 2 decent attacker, and the coach, because she used to play wing and midfield, but from last season, this new coach where them have now, straight centre back. So that's a she there lock it and thing, and we have 2 decent forward with skill and thing and some speed, and she did it proper still. Can't really say the goal them did form from she missing out or getting beat or anything like that. She play well, man. She play well. She do her thing. I'm proud of her. Because she's a girl very hard on herself, So I tell her some just want her get through the game them without You know, just know something. Me just try for press pan her say, cause like she know me can play football. She see me play, whatever. And I tell her say, yo, even as good as you see me be, when me used to play, I never play no game where I never make no mistake. Never. I always do something when I say, boy, I could do that better or do this better. So I just try press pan her them thing there. So she can know. I say, yo, Messi had the greatest thing. I say, Messi miss penalty. I say, Messi miss easy goal, you know? But brother, trust me, she want perfection, you know? I mean, I really want to take that out of her, you know, because that's a good thing. That's a good thing, but she just so hard on herself sometimes. She just get in her head, you know? So I work on our people, the mental side. Mental side is an important part of it, you know? But people may share around the video, you know. So we're up on YouTube, people. So please do like, share, and subscribe. Those are the rules. If you're gonna tune into the content, you might as well drop a like on it as well. That is the way that we can really make some noise in the algorithm, you know. So yeah, man, please do that favor for me. Smash that like button, all right? Yeah, man. And if you're subscribed to the channel, just turn on your bell notifications. You know, that way, even if I don't do my job, which is to share the content to you guys, you will know when we are live and things of that nature. All right? Yeah, so let me just send this out a few more time and make sure that the people them know we're in the building. Yeah, bro. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. I did. As I say, it was busy. Sunday was a bit more of a family day, just chilling out, watching football as well, of course. Reggae Girls fans, I have not neglected you. There was no way I was going to do the game live Saturday. I was a bit tired in the night to do any kind of recap or anything. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow night, we do have the time. So we are going to do the live Reggae Girls game tomorrow. It will kick off 7:30 Jamaica time, which is 8:30 my time here. So I will want to have this stream probably starting about half an hour to 45 minutes before kickoff. So tune in tomorrow, people, for the second match of the Mexi Tour, Jamaica versus Mexico. I will be streaming that one live. So tune in if you'd like to be a part. Of course, if I can get the coverage in the Discord, I will do so for those struggling to find it, but you don't know. If you're a diehard fan of the Reggae Boys, Reggae Girls, Jamaica football, they do have their YouTube channel. If you become a member over there, I believe it's $9.99 a month, you can watch the game live. It is a members only broadcast, so you do have to join as a member to see the game live. So yes, that is what you need to do. That's the easiest way to go ahead and get the content for tomorrow. I will not tell people how to get it other ways because you don't know. Support if you don't want support. Yeah, man, we're not going to hold that back at all. Big up, BM. Go on, brother. 3 football gem out there. Arsenal should sign this summer. Ryan Shirky, you've been talking about Shirky for weeks now, Skull, or months. Rodrigo Moraia and Christos Muzakitis. Check them out. Good players. Red Skull, we have youths can't done Red Skull. Right now, we need the best players in the world on the team. So me see it. We need to compete with who we are play tomorrow. So them 3 names there, as great as they are probably, I don't think we need more squaddy. We need some baller where I go bench the people them we have. And I don't think none of them brother they bench the people them we have. But yeah, I mean for the future. But Arsenal Academy are going good enough. You know, see the 15-year-old youth are going with a madness. He's next on the production line. Checking in. Big up Lee Young. What go on? Bianconeri boss. What go on? There, bro. Look at EPL content here. Juve. What Juve are going with? Say Juve there about 5th. But it tight up there still, so they can reach and they can go. Can probably get the top 4 still. What I say? Anything can I get top 4? Let me know. West Kingston Derby playing now. Yeah, may I watch it now, BM. as I said, big up to BAM Sports and Unseen. I try support BAM thing, but it like it they freeze up and things. So I just flick over to Unseen on it. It clear and it run smooth. So that me I watch now. I see Fabian Reed missed 2 easy goal already. And I see Tivoli just miss a easy goal on a set piece a while ago. I think it was Steve Clark missed the chance. But I take it in still. On it I play better, but them wasteful, so that might haunt them later in the game. But me not say Fuller. Want to Fuller? Why Fuller not start? I even me don't want to see, Big up Charles Brahma. Yeah, my night crew, man. You don't know the thing, go. Not too late, though. 9:30. This better for me, More while at 11 o'clock, me I start. This is a good day for me. All right, people. So, we're not going to itch people, because I don't know, I kind of watch the game at the same time. But we'll go through the content same way, people. We'll go through the 10 game that we'll play this weekend. Look on the Premier League table, how it's set after this week. We did have one team fate sealed. Southampton, by virtue of them losing, they are officially out. I mean, people probably would have had them out before, like myself. But yeah, it's official now, people. So they are out of it. But the first game of the weekend, this is actually the second week in a row that the first game we're going to talk about is the Arsenal game. They played the early game Saturday morning. So let us get on the screen right now. We like to work with SofaScore. I think there are things about it that I don't love, but I think when you put it up against the Fat Mobs and the other apps, I think overall I like it a bit more how they do their thing. So that's how we work with for the stats and everything. Could I use the PL site, but I think you get some more in-depth metrics from SofaScore. So I'm kind of like that. But anyway, this match ended 1-1, people. Goals courtesy of Leandro Trossard and Iliman Ndiaye. Of course, Trossard's goal in the first half on the 34th minute. And then right out of halftime, Everton really, I would say, apart from a slight spell at the end of the first half, probably had their best spell to start the second half. Poor from Arsenal to begin the second half. Just didn't really come out with any intensity, and it told in that whole time frame. The penalty, which I will talk about shortly, I don't think it was warranted. I don't think it was a penalty. But at the same time, they started out that half like, looking like they wanted something to happen as far as Everton getting something in the game. It was not really good enough for me to start that second half. Very complacent, and I think Everton had the right energy levels and basically eventually got what they kind of deserved. A chance to get back into the game. Albeit on some bogus circumstances. But I think, look, Arsenal, it was clear that after what happened the week before, Gabriel pulling his hamstring, Timber having to come off with issues in the game last week, you could tell that the Arsenal players were trying to get by doing the least. And I think, in a sense, when Trossard broke the deadlock in the 34th minute, Arsenal just figured they could cruise to the 3 points after that. And, no matter what situation a team is in the EPL, like a team like Everton, safe from relegation, can't make Europe, just really playing out the season, you can't take anything for granted. And they came out for that 5-10 minute spell to start the second half and really were hungry to get something out of the game. And they were able to equalize. Now, Arsenal, got back a stranglehold of the game in terms of possession, momentum, but it was all a bit sterile. It wasn't enough in terms of like creating. I don't think Arsenal created any kind of clear opportunity in that second half for all the possession. And yeah, it just seemed to me like Arsenal was trying to play the game in second gear, which they pretty much did for the most part. And I think there was a slight little stretch after they conceded where they tried a little bit, but it was never really enough for me. And I think definitely this, you can chart this up to, looking ahead to Tuesday, obviously, probably the biggest game of the season. That two-leg matchup in the Champions League quarterfinal with Real Madrid. So, I think one eye on Tuesday for sure during this game, and I think for that reason, Arsenal tried to cheat the system a bit and get these 3 points without really putting in the work for it, to be honest. But let's look at the stats of the game real quick. So the expected goals, Arsenal had the better there, 1.79 to 1.09, dominating ball possession 70 to 30%. But there you go, Everton had two big chances, one of which obviously from the penalty, and Arsenal had one big chance on the day as well. We took 14 shots to their 5, 3 saves made by Pickford, 1 by Raya. We had 8 corners, couldn't score on any of those. Obviously dominating the passing with the ball possession. They had 3 yellows, we had 1. Shots on target, 5 to 2. So, this has been, I think, something that you can look at in Arsenal season. They have had a lot of shots in most games, 15, 20, 25. But when you look at the shots on target, they're way too low for me. So just not putting enough shots on target during this entire season, honestly. One of the big issues I think we have. Then we have shots inside the box. We had way more of those. When you look at the attack, this is something that I always look at for Arsenal, right? So basically, the darker the shaded area, the more we're playing down that side. So obviously, we were favoring the left-hand side in this game. In the first half, that would have been Raheem Sterling. Thought he played well, actually, in this game. Got the assist to Trossard. And then in the second half, that would have been Martinelli, who I thought continued his recent uptick in form, even though we didn't score in that second half. I would say of the attacking players, he was the pick of the bunch in that second half, still looking dangerous. Looks to have gotten some confidence back in terms of the take-ons. He looks a lot more effective right now. So good time for him to be looking like he wants to play better, because we're definitely going to need him to be like the Martinelli of a few years ago if we're going to have any chance against Real Madrid. One big chance scored on the day, that was the penalty. Both teams did miss a big chance. We had more touches in the area, of course. Final third entries, dead even. So that just shows you there, Arsenal lacked that cutting edge, that intensity. Didn't ever put it all the way together, because for so little possession for Everton, they were able to get 38 entries. So that also tells me we weren't really engaging and trying to tackle them enough either. And that's just all a byproduct of, I think, playing with that fear of, nobody wanted to get injured and things like that. They try to make it a glorified training, and it doesn't always work out for you when you do things like that. So, Arsenal, though, the thing that I like about this team right now, it's definitely not on the attacking side. I think that where sometimes we don't quite keep the intensity up when we get into the final third. Like, we do really well progressing the ball from defense to midfield. When we get into the final third now, it all kind of gets a bit just not clicking all the way. But with all that said, I do think that currently the way we're defending looks good. I still worry about us in transition a little bit. I could see where in this last game there was a definite effort, or more of an effort, to try to limit the being outnumbered when people transition. I saw a lot more work rate from the attackers getting back, getting those numbers into play, so that we're not overloaded in any way on the counter. And I think that's definitely being drilled into them for the challenge that we're going to face in the CL. So, probably the best transitional attacking team in the world, I would say, Real Madrid. And when they get going, 2-3 passes and they're in your box shooting on it keeper. So we're going to have to be aware of all of those things. But I think this result, if I was truly analyzing it before I was making my picks, I should have given more thought to how much of a factor the game against Real Madrid was going to be in this game and this result. And I don't think I put enough emphasis on that. But like I said, big matchup for Arsenal coming up. It could have been a 9-point gap. Instead, it is 11, because, of course, Liverpool lost this week. But look, the game, I had said about 2 weekends ago that it's over. But this just kind of hurts a bit more because the week when Liverpool actually lose only their second game of the season, you would love for that to happen in a week when Arsenal got 3 points. But just think it was timing for us, and even though I think it's wrong at this point to be putting everything into the Champions League, because I mean, no, I said it's not wrong. It has to be right because if we get back in the Premier League title race, it's really just luck. Because I don't see Liverpool dropping enough of those points. I know they're on a run, like I said, they've lost 3 of the last 4 in our competition. So, losing is a habit sometimes. So maybe, who knows, them can reel off 2, 3 straight loss. If you look at their season, there's a lot of fans. If people that watch Liverpool games, maybe Liverpool fans won't admit this, but there's so many games this season where when you look back at the highlights, the stats, everything, Liverpool could have easily lost those games, and Salah has pretty much bailed them out a lot of the time. Now Salah has gone cold and they're losing games. So, if Salah can stay cold, then, who knows? Maybe they will have some issues finishing out the season the way they think they will. And there is the added bonus that will play them. So look, I'm still thinking that the season is over, or the league, that is the league season. Yeah, but this was the match of the day with the stats and everything for all the players. But yeah, before I get into any of the stats of the players, let's just discuss this penalty real quick. So first and foremost, people, you all saw the play. Just tell me in the comment section, was that a penalty on Miles Lewis Skelly or not? Was that a penalty on Miles Lewis Skelly or not? Let me know. Because for me, no way in the world is that a penalty. No way. First of all, them start to tussle from outside the box. I think both players is one of them things like 6 or 1 half a dozen of the other. Both of them holding to each other, leaning on each other. You see me? So I don't know like who you could say instigated that or anything like that. It just seemed as if they just got tangled up until them fall over. And I don't know, man. The way how the way how Skelly fell, it was clear that he was like kind of pulled down, or it looked to me like he was pulled down. Let me not say it was clear, but it looked to me like he was pulled down. So if that's the case, yeah, it just looked to me like he was pulled down. So I don't know why. Just the contact on who was the player again? Harrison. Just the contact on Harrison would have been like deemed as the foul. I thought it was like 2 players tussle, and then the fact that it went to VAR. I don't think, did he go to the monitor to look at that? I don't think he did. I think they just convinced him over the earpiece that it was a penalty. But yeah, how much of that you think is like reputation for the player? Because there's a lot of things happened this weekend. I said, how them not look on that on VAR at all? And I'm just wondering, like, Skelly get a few red card, and I think did he give away another penalty? Can't remember, but I know he's been in some incidents with referees and stuff. So is it just the reputation at this point? I don't know. EPL is now boring, title race is over, and there's no relegation battle. Yeah, it's kind of rough still. Wagwan, Gunners, going to do now. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, bless up Jeezy. Wagwan, bro. Manchester Derby, whack, boring. I just wake up. Bless up Warren Webster. Wagwan, father. There, JD big this week versus Real Madrid. Let's see what happens. Yeah, big match. Everything you just say is real talk, 100. Then no must. Barca. Well, I said no more United to your thing. Barca alone now. I wouldn't claim United right now either. But yeah, UCL. Later we'll get into the UCL prediction. I'll go through the EPL match then first. Kivior play well, honestly. Hope him do something tomorrow. Look, I was talking to one of my big coach. Well, my big coach, Bridging. And I talk about Kivior, and I say, say, I'm really deep it. Kivior is actually the best progressive defender we have with the ball, Like Saliba better dribbling out with it, but it's still like playing a pass through line. Nobody not do it better than Kivior, you know. See him set up who him set up in the day. I trust him did set with a true pass, like brilliant curl it around everybody. And like when him ping a pass on the ground and break a line, to me him do it better than most of the other defender them will have. I just wish him would have defend a little better, a little more force in him defending. Sometimes I just feel like he's just slight, make him lose out and challenge, you know. Them have West Ham and Leicester City, so them automatically win the league. Yeah, but may I tell you the truth, you know, West Ham is not just an easy pushover right now, you know. Yeah, man. Jason, there's no coming back for Arsenal. It's over. Yeah, I know. But mathematically, you know, I have a calculator and it's still at work. And the Spurs too. Yeah, man. Yeah. Jamrock hopeful, you know. Never was penalty, it was outside the box and him should be on a yellow card. Yeah, I don't get that call, bro. I don't get that call, bro. The stream keep freezing up. I notice in Jamaica, whenever a lot of people go on a live, it start freezing up. No, but to be honest, you know, unseen one never freeze. I really bam thing me that go support, you know. Even though me drop a like on the both of them still, because I don't know. I'm not really business, but so everybody, you know, get them whatever. But a bam me really would have taken in because I know bam know the ball of them more. So more while unseen at about number this from Tivoli and number that from Tivoli. Can know say unseen a real Arnett fan, you know. Because the man I call Arnett ball of them by them nickname and all kind of things. And then when Tivoli get the ball, a loan number here. And a one ball name from Tivoli me hear him call, you know. And the brother we used to play for Arnett. No, he did not. Yeah, he never go to the screen. That may I tell you. No penalty. All right, Guru. Me and you agree on that one day. No penalty for me either. Gone as a joke. Yeah, them joke out the thing for real. I want to save up for Madrid, brother. It might be in vain, but they might as well try. GZ have 1 million side. That's true. When them take advantage of Liverpool drop points, yeah, joke it out. CL season done too. Yo, we have dreams, you know, brother. We can't just think so we'll get bug up, you know. Anytime you pull out the calculator in football, you're in trouble. That is true. You want to stay away from a calculator and only use football boots. Red Skull are dead with laugh. How you laugh about? True, we say unseen and know the Tivoli ball of them, though. But I'm not lie. A loan number him a give when them man get the ball, brother. Bam I tell you what the ball of them eat for dinner and them thing, you know, Bam have the inside scoop and them something there. Cause trust me, if I go listen commentary, brother, more of the people them know what go on, like know the player them, know everything. You can't stand the number and here's the center forward from Tivoli. Really? So what the center forward from Tivoli name, big man? Let me see if Bam start now. Alright, look like Bam thing. Never start, you know. Like Bam thing, never start star. And the man them must take a half-time break. Let me know when the match start back. Just let me know when the match start back. Alright, so yeah. Never a penalty for me. Never a penalty. I thought the referee was actually shocking on a lot of things in this game. But I think a couple of positives from me going into the game, right? I think I like the fact that Kivior and Saliba get to play a game together, like a full 90 minutes. Just try to work out everything. I know before anybody that follow the content and stuff and follow my EPL content, the last time I spoke about Saliba, I said that I want to see him step into a more dominant role as the centre back because I think he puts a lot of the work on Gabriel and just kind of be able to course and read the game. And I don't want Kivior cannot do that. He cannot be forceful. He's not strong. He's not that player. So I love the fact that I love the fact that he kind of stepped up in that sense, more involved. 9 clearance, 2 tackle, 9 duels total, winning 8 of them. 3 in the air, 5 on the ground. Didn't lose anything as far as his normal, silkiness on the ball, 96%, everything. But the part that I love more than anything is that he was more involved. 5 of 5, 3 of 4. A lot of time when Gabriela play, the man barely about four duels total. So you could see that he made a concerted effort to okay, I am the man I have to deal with a lot of things today. And that's what I needed from him. When you look at the difference here, you see, this is more like what Saliba normal numbers look like. Not in terms of the success rate, but just 5 duels total. And it was clear that Arteta must have put that on him as well and said, listen, we need you to be the A defender in terms of we want you dealing with everything, mapping up everything, getting closer to Beto, trying to mark him out. You see, my only issue now is going up against this big lumbering striker in Beto. And it's going to be totally different playing against Madrid now with Mbappe and the speed. So, the good thing is Saliba ain't a slow player. So I don't think he's just going to get burned. And he's smart enough to use his body a little bit. So let's see how it works out. I mean, of course, you're not going to hold on Mbappe for 2 legs or even 1 leg. So, Raya will have to come up with some big saves. We'll have to make some crucial blocks from time to time. But I just like the fact that they got a chance to play a full 90 together. And I got to see that Saliba was willing to take on that mantle of, okay, it's on me now for win all them challenger. So that needs to continue for us to have success. Kivior need to be able to just be the reader of the game. And Saliba have to kind of change his role a bit now and become that aggressive defender, right? Another good thing I thought was Arteta, obviously not good. We couldn't get the 3 points, but, these 4 players that came on in the second half, I think it was smart of him not to start them. I think Martinelli, it's clear he's going to want him to play on the left in this game. Saka obviously will start on the right. And I think for me, what's going to be interesting is what does he do with the centre forward position? I thought Merino had probably his best game for Arsenal in midfield in the last game. And you can see there, based on the stats, he was the highest rated Arsenal player. So the eye test didn't lie. And I thought he was really good. He was really effective, I think when Odegaard comes back into that midfield, though, he'll probably be where Rice was in this game. I think Partey will play central where Jorginho was. And it's just going to be interesting what the coach decides to do. Does he play Merino back up front and play Rice on the left-hand side of midfield, which is what I think he will do? Or does he switch it up altogether, I mean, I pray to God he doesn't go with the Partey at right back thing. So I would think Timber will come back in at right back. And Miles will play left back, He could also play Ben at right back, which I wouldn't suggest. I think Ben, the one thing Ben struggled with as a right back is pace. And obviously Vinny is probably the fastest left winger in the world. So, I would much rather Timber's athleticism and kind of just his ability to deal with pace a little better. And then, obviously Skelly on that left side. Just because I think, even though he's had some up and down in terms of like giving away fouls and stuff like that, I just feel like he's shown that he kind of rises to the biggest occasions. The Man City game, the England debut the other day. He seems to play better in the bigger games. Where he's had issues is like, not all these games are big for him because he's young, but like, what was it, Wolves and, some other games like that, maybe he gets into trouble sometimes. But I think the biggest occasions, he seems to like step up. So I think he'll get the chance as well. He's earned it at this point. And I think that's also why you saw him coming off in the last game. So, yeah, Arsenal just drew this game 1-1. It was terrible. But I think it was all about looking forward to the next damn game. That's why that happened. Nigel Garden, bless up, bless up. Man, lock up better. Yeah, better was quiet. I don't like that we can't see live updates online for JPL. They need to fix that. Yeah, they do. They have the JPL app. They not, have the JPL app. Just turn on the notification. In a really forward same time, but it forward. Because when a man score a goal, they get it all 3, 4, 5 minutes later. But yeah, man, it'll work, man. Yeah, so the second half start. It's a 49 minutes on the app. So we are talking about BM. You have the app there. I meant on Google. Oh, on Google? Yeah. No, you can't. Google now work with it. I wonder how that could be fixed though. Like why Google don't have it for you? Because why not on Google? Okay, it depends on SofaScore, it depends them have a JPL app. Alright, Nila, cool. Alright, people. So that's the Everton Arsenal game. 1 point, not enough. Terrible. Alright, next game. And this was a mad one, people. Crystal Palace got the win 2-1 over Brighton. 3 red cards in this one. All 3 of them second yellows. So 2. Crystal Palace was down to 10 men when Nketiah was booked for the second time. Kind of unlucky. I mean, he was turning around trying to control a ball, and the guy kind of was trying to head out the ball, Van Heck, and he kicked him in the head. Didn't kick him, just had his foot up in the air and caught him. And he got a second yellow for that. And then Gehi with a, I don't know what the heck kind of challenge that was. Basically kicked the man in his stomach, studs up. And that was his second yellow. And so they were down to 9 men in the 98th minute with a whole bag of injury time to play, 12 minutes to be exact. So, Brighton could not quite get that equalizing goal though. And then they were down to 10 men when Van Hecke was sent off for his second yellow. After a mix-up at the back, basically Kamada was going to be through on goal, and he took him out there and pretty much knew he was going to get sent off, and he was sent off. So this one was a big win for Crystal Palace. Brighton again not being able to, do what they need to do to stay in touch with this European fight. Crystal Palace out there just killing teams' dreams at this point. Jean-Philippe Mateta, arguably the goal of the weekend for me, on his left foot. 3rd minute of the match, brilliant finish to the far post. Danny Welbeck was able to equalize in the first half from a good cross from Minte. And then in the second half, it was Daniel Munoz. Fantasy pickup. Yes, sir. With the goal. Eze getting both of these assists, setting up Mateta and then Munoz. Munoz's goal, to be fair, was a big deflection off Estupinian, who I thought really had some poor defensive technique. There's no reason why he should have had his body shape like that for it to hit where it hit to go in the goal. So I think he's at fault for the way he approached that block. But yeah, 2-1 to Crystal Palace, a team that I think on their day can cause any team problems, to be honest, with their threat up front of Eze, Sarr, and Mateta. Sarr was a bit quiet in this one, but what I like about this Crystal Palace team of late, some weeks it's Mateta and Eze, other weeks it's Sarr and Munoz, other week, it seems like Mateta had a little bit of lean spell in terms of goal scoring of late, and he had the head injury, of course, and they still were able to kind of get through those times with Sarr stepping up, and so they're getting it from different sources. Of course, Mateta is who they rely on for the most part for the goals, but I think enough of the people that play regularly for Crystal Palace are doing well enough that on a given week they can change the game as well. So Eze, good to see him, a player that I like, getting into some kind of regular form now. I thought this season for him, if you ask him, he probably would say it's a kind of a disappointment. He would have expected to really kick on. Olise left. Basically he's the creative hoe of the team now for sure. And I just don't think he's been reliable enough. But he has had a good couple of last matches, was vital in their FA Cup quarterfinal win to get to the semi-final as well. So, and another player, I think, and I've mentioned it on the show a few times now, Crystal Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson. I think right now, Pickford has a lot of credit in the bank as far as keeping for England. But if I'm being honest, he looks the most likely to push him for that spot to me, Dean Henderson. Shot stopping, top, comes up with some brilliant saves. Even at the end of this game, I think it was Ayari took a shot from point blank range, and most of the time, keepers get beaten through their legs with that one. The man just close him legs quick and take it out for a corner. Really good save. Had some other big saves in the game as well. So yeah, and Ursula, I don't know, man. Like Ursula to me, he just changed the team too much. Every week, Pedro's not starting, Welbeck starting. There's a couple of players like Van Heck. Basically, he don't like to switch up the back line and the keeper. But I see everything else, this man want to change every game. Mitoma, pretty much a staple. But a lot of these other players, it could be any name. Minte been starting a lot of late too, but most of the time he's switching up his midfield totally. The striker and the number 10 are attacking midfield are switching up as well. So yeah, sometimes I think he overdoes it. And Glasner is out. This is the opposite, really. I mean, if his main 11 is fit, he's probably going to play them every week. But yeah, Crystal Palace in the end were able to get this result, and I think it could have been a draw if I'm being totally honest. It was really two unstoppable goals that Crystal Palace scored, and Brighton just didn't have that same type of attempt that Henderson had no chance with, besides the goal. And anytime he had a chance to make a save, he made it. So I think goalkeeper play really gave them these 3 points, because on the balance of play, it could have easily been a draw. They had the two big chances in the game, Brighton that is. They missed one of them. Welbeck scored the other, and they had almost double the amount of entries as well. So, look, I don't think they did enough with those entries, but at the end of the day, I think Dean Henderson deserves a ton of credit for this 3 points, because he made some really, really top saves. If you look at the goals prevented, I bet you. Yep, 0.59. So anytime in the positive for that, he did really good. And look at the opposite there, minus 0.92 for Bruggen. So yeah, Dean Henderson doing big things. I think Nick Pope for a long time was definitely second in line, I would say, and Ramsdale was in the mix too. I think Ramsdale obviously losing his job to Raya didn't help him, and now he's getting relegated again, so he might be in for another setback as far as England aspirations are concerned. But for me, if I'm Tuchel going into this World Cup cycle and stuff, I would say second string to Pickford is Dean Henderson personally. But yeah, Crystal Palace got the win there 2-1. Brighton huffed and puffed, tried really hard but could not quite get it done in the end. All right, Ipswich and Wolves. This one was looking like it was going to be a dream day at Portman Road for the Tractor Boys after Dillap put them in front in the first half. But to be totally honest, it was, other than one and maybe two spells in the second half, really short amount of time though. I would say this game was pretty much dominated by Wolves. As you can see, the expected goals well in the favor of Wolves, 2.71 to 0.8. They created 4 big chances, outshot them by quite a bit as well. Strand Larson continued his rich goal scoring form. He did score late, but that wasn't before missing 2 big chances in the game. Bellegarde again with a decent performance, 8 more as well. But Sarabia came in the second half, and he actually was pivotal, playing some really good through passes, crosses into the box, scored that equalizing goal, which was really needed because he was looking for all that pressure that they were never going to get one. Palmer was stopping everything back there. But in the end, that equalizer happened, and it just felt inevitable that they were going to get the second, and they did eventually through Strand Larson after good work again by was it Sarabia that played that cross to him? I think it was Sarabia, you know. Yeah. Sarabia played the cross to Strand Larson, and it actually needed some finishing. He was falling over and had a nice deft touch to put it in the goal. So 2-1 to Wolves. They are pretty much making themselves, not mathematically clear yet, but gonna be very, very hard to catch. As I said, I don't think any of these relegation teams have 3-4 wins on the bounce in them. I would be very shocked unless they get to play, each other twice at least out of those 3-4. But yeah, Wolves in the end gonna be safe again somehow every season. They have parts of the year where it looks like it's inevitable they will be going down, and they always find a way to right the ship and get to safety before it's all said and done. So big up to Vitor Pereira, the new coach that has come in. I don't think he was on the bench this week I think he's suspended. So Montero was on the bench, but yeah, big up to him. He's definitely transformed the team in terms of their defense. They were leaking goals like crazy under Gary O'Neill. He's come in, solidified that, gone to the back three system. And certain players who weren't even getting any game time play a lot now. Doherty is starting every game in that back three. So yeah, Bellegarde wasn't maybe getting as much opportunities. Now he's starting a lot as well. So yeah, and I think Andre getting more familiar with the league, so you're seeing his performances improve. And I've always thought Joao Gomez was decent. So they have decent players in this team, man. Nouri and Semedo, good wing backs. Cunha gets added back to this coming weekend. Probably will come in for either Senetsi or Bellegarde. I would think Senetsi at this point, Munetsi, sorry, because Bellegarde's been on such good form. So let's see what they end up doing next week. But Cunha will be returning. And yeah, Ipswich, it's becoming really do or die now. They're going to need to reel off some victories if they want to stay in this league. But sad to say, Ipswich, I don't think it's going to happen, guys. No. I don't think it's going to happen. Google is trying to tell us they don't update Bush leagues. You see it? Tivoli just missed a sitter. Jano, that's two then. Because they got one easy one in the first half too. Poor pass there. Who is the 15 for Arnett? Channel, man. Kick up the keeper star. Yellow card that now. Oh, I'm not give one. Should I get one? All right, so let's get back into the list, people. West Ham Bournemouth, another mad game. So this game right there ended 2-2, as you can see. Evan Nielsen giving them the lead in the first half after some shoppy level goalkeeping by Areola. Then West Ham, after making some substitutions in the second half, were able to get back on the scoreboard from a corner. Ward-Prowse getting a start in this one. Laid it up on a platter for Fulkrug, who had just come in not too long before the goal in the 61st minute. And then the 68th minute, Jared Bowen, remarkably actually, getting a header right into the rat hole of the corner. Actually was backpedaling when he took that header as well. Just very, very crazy finish, I thought. And then Evan Nielsen, again, opportunistic from a set piece. Howson got to the first ball, flicked it to the back post, and Evan Nielsen was the first to react and get it home at the back post to make it 2-2. Then, both teams had some decent chances. I would say the best chance fell to Semenyo. He was through on goal, little bit off the left, not central really. So he went for kind of, I don't know, it wasn't even a powerful shot per se, but the shot went right to the keeper's legs. Maybe he was trying to catch him with those legs open, but he closed his legs in time and he was able to make that save. But I would say that was the biggest chance. There was also another play where, Kirkes could have easily put it across the box for Evan Nielsen to finish, who was looking really dangerous every time they got wide. He was timing his runs perfectly. but Kirkes kind of missed the run, didn't get it to him in the right area. But yeah, this one ended 2-2. Bournemouth definitely could do with the 3 points to get back into somewhat of some contention for these European places, but they could not get the job done and get it over the line. So it was in the end 2 drop points for them to continue their, lackluster form of late, really and truly. Bournemouth 2-2, this one ended. Bournemouth definitely had the better of the game though. When you look at it, they had the better expected goals, created more big chances, had more shots on target, only one though, 4-3. The final third entries, 58-52 in favor of West Ham. So in that sense, not that far apart. So that's good to see there. West Ham getting a bit more done. Like I said, under Potter, I think they've played much better football for sure. I think they've just been mistake prone, to be honest. Like even the goalkeeper, the first goal should never have scored, to be honest, the way it was. I mean, it was a tame enough shot by Semenyo to the near post, and it just wasn't dealt with properly at all. So that kind of gave them that goal. And I think Evan Nielsen, he's that type of striker, and if you give him anything in that box, he's gonna take it. So he basically had 2 point-blank goals. I think both goals were scored basically in the 6-yard box. But that's his bread and butter. He's gonna be around for that situation to just get that goal. Semenyo statistically had a good game. Housen as well. Bowen, as I said, scored a brilliant goal. Can't take anything away from him. A person of his stature, how he scored that goal was really impressive. I think Kudus missed some chance in this one. No, I've never missed no chance. Yeah, Guilherme had a decent effort late, but he should have crossed it. A decent opportunity or opening. Yeah, I remember that play too. But yeah, West Ham, Bournemouth share the spoils. Not the result that Bournemouth needed. West Ham pretty much at this point just playing out the season. Think they're pretty much safe. Definitely, I can't catch up to the teams that are battling for Europe, so they're just going through the motions. But a good performance from them, showed some fight, able to get back 2 goals in the game after being down. So that's good to see a team not playing for much still have that much fight. Aston Villa and Forest. This was the last game of Saturday. The midday kickoff for me in the States, of course. Early evening in England. But Aston Villa took this one home 2-1 after Rogers and Marlin getting goals in the 13th and 15th minute. It looked like Aston Villa would have a field day with Forest. Forest eventually were able to kind of slow the game down enough to get their breath again. And in the second half, you could argue that in that spell where they got their goal, easily could have gotten a second to equalize, but it wasn't meant to be. And Aston Villa got the win 2-1. Tielemans with a brilliant ball over to Reynolds for the first goal. Brilliant first touch and everything. The shot goes through the legs of the keeper. Marley with the second goal after good work down the left by Matson. Puts it on a plate for him to finish. Easy finish, 2-0. Then, second half, as I said, Jota Silva came on at halftime for Elanga, who had to leave the game with a knock. And yeah, Elanga coming off, you'd think it was going to be a big issue, but Jota Silva did his thing, was able to get the goal to make it 2-1. And they just could not quite get it over the line after that. But a valiant effort by Nottingham Forest. I think for them, they just didn't turn up in the first half, and they just spotted them those 2 goals before they really got into the game. But I think that was the big issue. But Aston Villa were good value. I mean, they had 4 big chances to none created by Forest. They had the high expected goals. Forest did outshoot them by 2. But shots on target paint a different story. 8 shots on target for Villa to only 3 for Nottingham Forest. So that goes to show you there. Better quality shots, things of that nature. Let's see. Big chances missed 2 on the day, but they scored 2 of them as well. touches in the area. I'm sure the entries will favor Villa, but not as much as much as you think. 62 to 55 was the final third entries on the day. Evening duels for both teams, and definitely Forest keeper at the 0.88 again. Matt Sells up there, candidate for me for team of the season. Yeah, he had a whopping 6 saves on the day to get that high rating. So definitely the more guilty chances fell to Aston Villa. And I think in the end they were good value for their 3 points. You see the coach had some rotation as well. When you look at the bench, you'd have to think that Kanza will start in the Champions League. Luca Dean didn't even play, so he'll probably start as well. Paul Torres recently returning. I do think that Paul Torres and Kanza is his the main backline you'd want to see. As far as centre backs, I think Matty Cash more than likely will come back in at right back. And yeah, even the likes of Rashford, Jacob Ramsey, Boubacar Kamara could all start in the Champions League. I think McGinn, Asensio, that's going to be a tricky one. What does he end up going with in that one? Marlon, as we know, is not in the Champions League squad. So, he won't be available, of course. So, yeah, let's see what they plan on doing for this one, Bailey's still out. He was a doubt, and he didn't get in at all. And we don't get there yet. Yeah, so Bailey's still doubtful. So not sure if he's going to be available on Wednesday. They do play Wednesday, they don't play tomorrow. So that's an extra day potentially for him to, get ready. But, does he start in a big game like this coming off of injury? Who knows? But let's see. Let's wait and see. My money is on him not starting even if he's in the squad. Just because, you wouldn't want to overdo it. Maybe if you want to play him and give him that 20 minutes towards the end, just to make sure you're not overdoing the workload, But Aston Villa got this victory 2-1. Forest, could not get any closer to the top two, who both dropped points this week, and they also didn't get anything out of this weekend, which wasn't a good look for them at all. I think Chris Wood now has missed the last 3 games or so since the international break. And I think at this point they're really missing him. I thought they took a little while to cope with the fact that Ola Aina wasn't playing. The coach tried to remedy that by switching up the system, right? And he brought in the back 3 system, which they play from time to time against certain teams. But would he have just been better suited? Would he have just been better suited keeping the 4 system in the back? Hindsight is 2020, not sure. But it seemed like in the early part of that game, they were having definite issues, covering all the spaces correctly. And Aston Villa was definitely taking advantage of it early. As I say, it could have been 2, 3, 4 in that first half. Didn't quite get there ever, but it could have been based on how I was seeing the players develop and stuff. It just didn't look like Nottingham Forest could cope once Aston Villa got into their slick passing and movement. So, well-deserved winners, I thought, on the day. Aston Villa. Forest did have a better second half, I must say, but in the end, I think spotting them those 2 goals in that time frame was just too much. So 2-1 to the Villains, and they got closer and closer to that top 4 area. So we move into Sunday now. There were 3 games early. Brentford and Chelsea was one of them. This game ended 0-0. Ethan Pinnock actually was an unused sub in this one. He was on the bench. Rico Henry also on the bench. Good to see him back. But yeah, this one ended 0-0. Flecken getting the man of the match, so he was the busier of the 2 keepers. Let's see. Both teams, 3 big chances. So yeah, both keepers kept busy enough. The expected goals were really close, but it was clear that both teams were supposed to score at least 1 in this fixture. Neither of them could. 6 saves to 2. So yeah, definitely more work done by Flecken, which would give him the man of the match. Possession was about 60-40 in favor of Chelsea. Shots on target 5-2 in favor of Chelsea. The outshot them 21-9 as well. And you know what's crazy? These stats say this, but when I watch this game, it always looked like Brentford was more likely to score. Because whenever they went forward, it just looked more dangerous. You know, we saw them Boomer linking up with the runners from deep coming in, the Dams guards and the rest. Yeah, it was looking good. It was looking good. And every time they went forward, it felt threatening, like they were going to score. I can't really say the same for all of Chelsea's attacks, but Chelsea did a pretty good job of controlling the game in the second half, especially. But those little spells when Brentford had a chance or had the ball or countered, it always looked dangerous. But yeah, Flecken, I said it. I said it right before the last international window. Of course, Jamaica is my side first and foremost. But I've always been a Dutch fan as well. And the keeper from Brighton, Verbruggen, he's the starter right now for the Netherlands, but Flecken has been in the squads, and I must say that he's been playing better than Verbruggen this season. I don't know if that means he'll get the starting role for the Netherlands, but if it was up to me, I would go with the one that's more informed, and for me, that's definitely Flecken. Less mistakes, better shot stopping right now than Verbruggen. I know Verbruggen is the future because he's only like 21, 22, but yeah, Flecken kind of might deserve it at this point, I'm just being honest. But this one ended 0-0. Cole Palmer came on in the second half, as did Nico Jackson. But yeah, it just wasn't enough. Was not enough. And Kunku missed a chance early on. That kind of set the tone for the rest of his game. Oh gosh, man, kicking him head by a bicycle at 10. Man, head bust up. Them can't cost a player for that star. Nah, try to keep man in them head. But yeah, we signed them Boomer and Shaw them, and it was causing some big problems in the first half. Kind of was able to curtail that for the most part in the second half until later on when the game got a little more stretched when Chelsea was really trying to get that goal. But telling you that front three, I know they probably won't be together next year because I think definitely two of them are being looked at heavily. And I wouldn't be surprised if all three aren't being looked at as options. But yeah, they definitely have a nice little thing going with that front three. And then when you're adding the creativity of Damsgaard right behind, then yeah, it's a nice little thing they got going on right there. But neither team was able to break the deadlock. Flecken being a little more heroic than Sanchez, but Sanchez played his part as well with some good saves. And it was just some wasteful finishing by both teams at times as well. So, decent game. It was a 0-0 game, but it was not nearly as boring as the other 0-0 game this weekend. So, Brentford and Chelsea. We'll see what that draw means for Chelsea in the table in just a minute. Let's move on now to the Fulham and Liverpool game, people. So, this game was another one that was highly entertaining. I thought it might have been the most entertaining game of the weekend. I would say that's going to be, between this game and probably the West Ham game, I would say, the West Ham Bournemouth game. Palace and Brighton was exciting as well, but for different reasons. I would say football-wise, though, the West Ham Bournemouth game was decent. And the Villa Nottingham Forest game was good too. But yeah, the 0-0 that we're going to get to shortly, but I'm telling you, that game was boring. Anyway, currently, we're talking about Fulham and Liverpool, people. So, first thing that just jumps out to me, like how many games this season has Liverpool been so low average with SofaScore rating? So 6.61 for them, and look at all those oranges and a red on the paper. Van Dijk, Konate, Jones, all 6.4 are under. Robertson all the way down to 5.9. Gakpo, Soboslai, Salah, Jata, front four are 6.3 or less. Really, the only ones that statistically did decent was McAllister and Gravenberg, right? And then the bench players would have been better as well because Elliot, Diaz, Conor Bradley all brought an energy to Liverpool that might have been lacking before. Nunes and Chiesa, not quite as effective, but were decent as well, bringing the energy. Fulham, on the other hand, I thought Iwobi had a really good game. I thought Moniz, even though I think did he miss a chance? Yeah, even though he missed a big chance, he was pulling on his score. I thought he did immense, just putting pressure on Konate and Van Dijk. Any kind of, even if it's a reckless hospital type ball, he's putting pressure on them. Free kick for Arnett outside the box here. Rashiki Kelson, Shepard clips it in, headed out. All right, nothing came of that free kick there. But yeah, Liverpool's players just did not play well. They did not play well. Fulham had a decent game plan as well. They executed it. One thing I thought Fulham did better than like when they played us, for example. The two times I've seen them play us, I thought they were way too reverent towards us. Like just they didn't really put us under enough pressure, I thought. And I think in this game they made a concerted effort to, try to press, try to put them under pressure, and I thought it worked. I thought Moniz was really good in terms of work rate. That Pereira put himself about as well. And then they were getting the quality in the wide areas from Sessegnon and Iwobi. So, yeah, good performance for Fulham. Not so good for Liverpool, to be honest. That's a few games well now. Salah not giving you any goal contribution. And yeah, it just wasn't the best showing for him at all. McAllister scored a blowout goal in the 14th minute, people. I don't want to skip over that. I gave Mateta the goal of the weekend, but for me, my second favorite would have to be the McAllister strike. The man hit that so clean, the ball don't even move. I don't even think it had any spin on it at all. It just was flying right in the side net. Brilliant shot. I don't even think it was all the way in the side net. It was just so powerful. It passed the keeper. So that was a brilliant effort. And then Liverpool just pretty much imploded. And even before that McAllister goal, Robertson gave away the ball, Konate gave away the ball, Curtis Jones gave away the ball, Van Dijk gave away the ball, Kelleher did some madness in goal. So they were just looking like they wanted to give Fulham something, and Fulham said, okay, we'll take it. Sessegnon scoring after a cross came in. It looked like Muniz could have fouled Ibu Konate there, but it was a play on, and Jones, playing, makeshift right back. He just didn't have his body position correctly. It hit off his knee, went back into the danger zone, and Sessegnon ran and controlled the volley well to make it 1-1. Then Iwobi's goal as well came from a mistake. Played across the box. Iwobi got it, took a shot, it deflected, he got the ball back, shifted it onto his left foot and then was able to get off a strike. Beat Kelleher. I think it took a slight deflection as well, changed direction of it. But that was 2-1. And then Moniz, after, basically a phase of play where Liverpool couldn't quite clear the ball properly, he basically is bodying up with Van Dijk, does a brilliant first touch to kind of spin Van Dijk. And then Van Dijk just couldn't really catch up by the time he was putting his strike on that ball. It goes right through Keller basically into the goal to make it 3-1. And then I'm thinking, boy, is this really going to happen on a week when Arsenal drop points? And then Liverpool basically came out in the second half and played the entire second half like how they've been playing all season. But I thought Leno had some big saves. I thought they were wasteful on a few occasions as well. Even when they pulled back that goal at 3-2 through Diaz, I thought, yes, here it is. They're going to at least get a point. But yeah, they could not get past Fulham and their defense late in the game. So big shout out to all the defenders on Fulham. I thought Bassi was incredible. I thought Anthony Robinson was really good. I thought Leno was really good. Castagna as well, getting cramp early in the game, was able to finish the game out and did well as well. And yeah, big shout out to Marco Silva. I thought he had a good game plan. I thought he showed a bit more bravery, taking on this team. And yeah, it ended up working out in the end. They did have the better expected goals, pretty much doubled up Fulham, 1.5 to 0.74. Both teams did have 3 big chances though. When you look at the shots on target, it was dead even at 6 apiece. One time, Liverpool did hit the woodwork in this game. The difference was just big chances scored and missed. And that was basically the difference in the game. Final third entries 59 to 42 in favor of Liverpool. So they did have more entries on the day. And then when we look at the goals prevented, Terrible work here by Keller at negative 1.66. So if Allison is back from his concussion, I would expect him to be back in the lineup. Kelleher, for the first time in a little while, I think people seeing why, he's maybe been a number two for a little while. I know a lot of people were saying he's the best number two. That could very well still be the case, but is the case where he really just needs to be a number two. He just ain't that number one. But Fulham got the 3-2 victory over Liverpool. Arsenal fans and fans of the Premier League in general would be hoping that meant more for the season, but to be honest, it's over, my friends. Tottenham got the 3-1 win over Southampton. Of course, Brennan Johnson getting a brace in the first half, and then, of course, true Tottenham fashion, giving up a goal in the 90th minute just to make the fans get a little uneasy. But in the end, a penalty was won, and Matisse Tell off the bench came in to convert that penalty. So 3-1, Southampton, as I said, officially relegated now. This player right here, though, Mateus Fernandes, you're talking about players that we should get. Red Skull, this guy's 20 years old from Portugal, 5'10". Love his game. Love his game. He's playing in this terrible team, and this man's still averaging about a 6.94. You see what he did in the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. Really good ratings for a midfielder, and he's all action. He reminds me a lot of the guy that plays for PSG now, João Neves. But I think this guy, Mateus Fernandes, might have him beat in terms of like creativity and goal scoring and stuff like that. But I do see this player being able to play deeper in midfield as well, because his motor is incredible. This man don't stop running. You see it? See it there? I know high pressing had to be a strength. This man will run till next week, brother. And him have takers too. Good player. So, you know what it's saying is about 14.6 mil right now. So I'm going to put lower in case Arsenal want to buy him. Nah, joke. He really should be higher. Can I change it? Yeah, man, I'd say him worth a good 20 to 25 this youth, man. Him wicked, man. And he's only 20, so him sell on value going to be good. And I know him can do it. Him do it for a Southampton team where don't have a hope. Gunners boss, how about them Huskies? Gators versus Cougars National Championship. Who you got? Boy, I'm kind of torn, Come on, Kelvin Sampson get one since him a coach so long. I remember him always I get some heartbreak in the tournament. But I kind of like the Clayton youth from Florida. But like how that coach so young and he will probably have more chance. I have to go with Kelvin Sampson, brother. Have to. Yeah, I'll have to agree. I'm going with Houston as well. Yeah, they are back. Best score. When we draw, I didn't want them to win. Yeah, true. Pinnacle levels have dropped drastically this season. Yeah, he's had a bit of a struggle, to be honest, comparative to like the last couple of seasons. Yeah, I think, partially injuries and stuff, but I would say even before the injuries, he was making a few more errors than normal, or like errors leading to shots and stuff. Not always leading to a goal, but definitely putting his team under pressure more and more. And I think it's the first time I can remember in years where he's fit and the coach just decided not to play him. The coach played Vandenberg. And early in the season, I thought he was going to bench him for Vandenberg, but eventually he ended up playing Vandenberg at like right back because the guy, Ayer, who usually play over there, was injured. So I don't know. Now that everybody fit, let's see how it is moving forward. Like, has pin-up game gotten taken by this Van de Ven guy? I don't know. Liverpool bust your ticket. That for reach you. How Gooner for put Liverpool in a ticket right now? Stop being greedy, man. Big up Jason and subscribers. Tough week. Yeah, pristine. It wasn't the easiest week, to be honest. As a matter of fact, this might be the worst score for the champion of all time, to be honest. Maybe I'll have to check back and see over the weeks if anyone was worse than this one. Oh, you see him? All right, yeah, man. That youth are bad, man. I rate him. From early in the season, you know. I see the man like every week when I watch the highlights of games. Because I'm not going to lie to you people, I've watched very few full Southampton games this year. But I watch every highlight of every game every week just to be able to talk about everything, right? And every time me I watch Southampton game them, if them do anything good, this man in the middle of it every time, every single time. At the beginning, everybody was dribbling. But this youth way more consistent than dribbling. Yes, them play different positions and stuff. But this guy, like week in, week out, he might do this, brother. Week in, week out. All right, people, I never really wanted to reach to this damn game, to be honest. Because it's like, what do you really talk about in it? But anyway, let's talk about it anyway. This is the Manchester Derby, people. One of the most drab affairs I can remember of this game for a long time. Ideal football is a fun fact. Ramsdale has experienced 4 relegations with 4 different clubs over the last 7 years. I don't know if that's a fun fact. That's a that's a unfun fact. Every time I look upon a game, I have people upon the ground and the ref in front around them. What is going on, man? Every 5 minutes, Saints relegated. Very Phoenix next. Jano. Yeah, very Phoenix look like them definitely get relegated, brother. But don't ask the man if he might prepare for tier two. No, him have a little of Vitinha rolling. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like him is a mixture of the two of them, brother. Because the tackling is like João Neves from PSG, because he have a little more bite to him than Vitinha. Even though Vitinha tackle enough, you can say that Vitinha really want to be more of a playmaker, deep line playmaker type player, 4 errors this season compared to 6 his first 3 seasons. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, man, you can see that he's making more errors this year. And even sometimes like the stats might not even register the stuff that him do. Cause sometimes him bail him own self out. Like he make a mistake and then him tackle it back. Another miss from Tivoli. This game is comedy. Yeah, man, from in the first half the two, well, I don't know how Fabian Reed miss one of them when he did have a left foot right in front of the goal, man, put over the bar. All right, so this was the game. 0-0. This one ended. Man United tried to get that win at the end, but in the end, the defenses and the goalkeepers really had the best day. Onana got the player of the match, so that should tell you about what kind of game this was. Only one big chance in 90 minutes for both teams. Look at no team got over the one for the expected goals, 0.91 though to United, 0.49 to City. Um, United outshot them 13-9. Onana did have to make 6 saves though in the game. So that's pretty much how he got that man of the match statistically. 5 shots on target to 2 for Man City. So even though they shot less, they were more on target. So that's why Onana was the busier of the two keepers. United had more touches in the area, interestingly. And then final third entries, though, City dominating with 69 to only 35 for Manchester United. So this goes to show that United did the most with their entries. And really and truly, it didn't start like happening like this for them until they made some of their changes in the second half. I thought Hoyland again, basically anonymous for the entire game. That he was on the pitch. When he came off and Xerxes came on, Xerxes did a lot more in his time on the field. And I thought Bruno continued his good form that he's been in the last, I would say, couple of months, to be honest. Dorgu, definitely athletically, the profile that Amarin probably wants on that left wing back role. But technically, man, this guy is wild. Man, get some chance to score or at least put something on target and just kick it away. A whole heap of time as well. And Mazraoui seems to be liking the centre back role as well, a little bit more than the wing back role in this system. Casemiro, for the first in a while, played 90 minutes, played well. And Garnacho had glimpses, but again, end product faulty for Garnacho. But it needs to be spoken about, people. This guy right here, he's avoiding a lot of criticism this year for how, I don't know. I have no idea. But Phil Foden has been a shell of himself, bro. A shell of himself. Things that you used to know you're gonna get from him, you're just not getting anymore. Marmoush looks a player, gonna really be a good signing for them, I think, moving forward. And I think it's pretty obvious that defensively, Vardial is a bit better when he plays central. Because a few games now, I think they've had him and Diaz have had a couple of clean sheets now. And yeah, he just doesn't seem to be so prone to the mistakes when he's in the center. Maybe a little more energy conservation, not having to bomb forward as much and then come back and defend. Maybe that's helping him out to just be a little more set in his role. But whatever it is, he's defending decent. So um, yeah, this game, man, just like, really sad that this was like the Manchester Derby. Honestly, it was very boring. I didn't fall asleep on it, but if I tried at all to fall asleep, I probably would have. Um, I remember when the match was done, like we were trying to figure out who would have win man of the match, and one of my brethren them did say them need to give it to me because they need to give it to me for watching the match. Yo, big up yourself, Unseen giving us the stands, walk out. Boy, the girl them forward out for the Arnett match. But this one look like it done, nil all people. It wasn't like the Manchester derby though. Both teams get a whole heap of chance for win the game. Dibbling, most people see he should go for big money. Yeah, I mean Dibbling is like the darling of everything, because he's the young English guy. But brother, he ain't worth the money that them wanting for him, man. Dibbling is a good player, but he's not worth 100. Yeah, I agree there. I'm telling you, man, this kid Fernandez gonna have a better career than Dibbling. Watch, telling you. Once his brother leaves Southampton, man, the minute him go to a half decent team, people are gonna start talk about him. Liana beat Man U 3-1. Or them are play next week? I know. As long as Man U keeps City out of the top five, you're okay. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about what that did to City's aspirations of where they're going to end this season in just a minute. Because we almost reached to the point where we're going to look at the table. There's one game left, people, to talk about. That's the Leicester versus Newcastle game. And this is just the one game left in the league. We're going to have a little Champions League segment as well. So make sure you stick around for that. But this was the game today, Newcastle and Leicester City. Newcastle, pretty much the only team up there in that top side of the table that got a win, as well as Aston Villa. So they were very happy with the weekend's events. When you look at the first place team dropping 3 points, second place team dropping 2 points, the third place team dropping 3 points, and the fourth place team in Chelsea only dropping 2 points as well, only getting a point. So really good week for Newcastle to make up the ground with third and fourth, especially because I'm sure they still aspire to get maybe even the top three based on the amount of games they have left and everything. So, at this point, kind of playing with house money. They have a success because they won their first trophy in like 70 years, which is a big deal for the club. And yeah, now it's about getting back into the Champions League by virtue of the placements in the Premier League. So that is really what's on the agenda for them. They were able to get a taste of Champions League last season. Now they would like to get back to that level for next season. And who knows, maybe that has a say in the likes of Isak Stein, the likes of Gordon, and whoever else they want to keep in this club. Some of them might say, boy, I wanted to win things for this club, and they want something. Now they might look at it and say, boy, can we win anything else with this club? I don't know. Maybe. But on their day, they look like they could win things. And today was one of those days. Now, partly, they were playing Leicester. I don't think Leicester scored in about 17 million hours of football. So, yeah, they definitely, the form played out in this game. Murphy getting a brace in the first half, and then Harvey Barnes getting the third. That second goal that Murphy scored was a madness because Shard dispossessed Vardy in his own half, and the keeper was way out of the goal. He tried the effort. It was the going directly in the goal, just hit the crossbar, and Murphy was the only player reacting. He was about 20 yards ahead of the closest defender, and after crossbar rebound, he was able to bundle the control a bit, but then finish to make it 2-0. And then Harvey Barnes scored from basically a simple counter attack. Him and Isak only waited for runners. Isak took a shot, got blocked, falls to Joe Linton in the box. He cuts inside, way too easy to shoot, and then the parry from the keeper falls to the feet of Harvey Barnes. So yeah, no chance there. So 3-0 to Newcastle, big win for them, deserved winners. And yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy, it's not good reading. I think I saw a stat, he was in his 17 matches as the manager, he has 1 win, 2 draws, and 14 L's. And that this one today would have made 15 L's out of 18 games managed. So tough for Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was looking quite, dejected. Just actually wasn't even looking dejected in the first half. He just was looking like, boy, I don't even know what to do at this point. But yeah, Leicester City, barring a miracle, they're down as well. And Newcastle will just have to see how consistent they can keep it, because I feel like none of these top teams right now are really in the best form that they have been in. So Newcastle is really going to come down to form, and right now Villa and Newcastle seem to be the form teams up there in this end of the table, and let's see how long that carries on for both. But I feel like if they can keep up the form they're on, they will probably be prepping the likes of Chelsea, even Nottingham Forest, for those top 3 and 4 spots. And I'm talking about Villa and Newcastle here, if they can keep up their recent run of form. But let's see, based on what I'm saying, if that's really how it's gonna go. So let me get the I like looking at the Premier League table. It's a little bit, I don't know, something about it that I like a little more. People, please do smash up the like button. It's about almost 30 of you in here right now. Hopefully you guys have been doing the right thing so far. Let me see if I need to cuss some bad word or not. So let's see what kind of like total we're on right now, people. I know the audio working. All right, not too bad. We'll take that. Come on, people, please do smash that like button though. Thanks for those who have touched it up already, but please do continue. Let's see. Liverpool, Arsenal, NF, Newcastle, and Man City top 5 for Champions League. All right. Villa and Chelsea 6 and 7. Damn, Ruud should be sacked. Brother, Ruud. I don't think Ruud is the problem, to be honest. I just think that the team is, I don't know, bro. The coaches have made some weird decisions though. Because they have all Hudson Edward. I'm not saying he's the greatest player in the world, but like, why the man they can't play? Why Bobby not playing? None at all. So yeah, maybe he can get sacked still, to be honest. I don't know why I defend Ruud for. Bless up, Sean. What go on? Suriname on the move. I get more baller every time we look on Suriname. More baller. So what go on in the basketball? Jamrock, you're back, bro. What go on? Yeah, I know you're there over there. Watch it. Man, they miss a bag of chance, brother. Yes, Red Skull did a terrible job with Leicester City. Bobby Reed can't even come off the bench for one of the worst teams in the EPL. That's not a good look. Yeah, but to be honest, BM, I watch the man them who play over him play, and there's no reason Bobby not fair play. And when Bobby play, him play better than the people them who play. So I don't know why I'm not get more chance. I know you look on it like, it is a bad look. But I think it's not because it's not merit why I'm not playing. The coach them just fool. Unseen and Bam just went over 18K streaming. That is nice. That is good for them. I hope them not get no problem, because them people over there so bad man, man. Them see them get some little views and them go on talk about it's not authorized and all these things. Don't trouble the people in video. I wouldn't decide not for sure the damn game. And if they show the game, the man them wouldn't go live. So I hope them not get no kind of penalization, because The people them look on the demand feed, 18K. You see it? And them always are complaining now, no money in football, no money in football. And they don't damn capitalize on where the money could have come from. Bobby have to be playing on that team if he's not injured. Yeah, for sure. Bro, there's nobody keeping him out of the game that deserve to keep him out of the game. Out of the EPL and Liga, what league you think is more competitive this season? Well, this season I would have to say that's a tough one though, you know. I mean, the top of the table is tighter in Spain, but is the top of the table being tighter? Does that really mean that the league more competitive this season overall, or is it like should you look at like how close the whole table is more so than just the top or the relegation? I don't know. Like, what's the best way to look about it? But I mean, if you look at it like just title race, then you'd have to say La Liga more competitive this season because there really is no title race in the EPL. They say like Aki and Saltfish. Yeah, because like why no would I fight like a Unseen or a Bam them little views for live streaming, knowing that when you tell the people you're not gonna stream the game, them anybody will have Sportsmax look and say, oh, double header tonight, Racing Chapelton, Arnett Tivoli, wonderful. You go to the Racing game, they must show one all-time game. You go to the Arnett Tivoli game, they must show one all-time game. It don't make no sense, brother. It don't make no sense. So when you don't blow out, when you don't trouble the people them views and video, brother. Love it. Make them get them likes and them views. Italian league has more flair. EPL is more blue collar, more competitive. Yeah, no, La Liga have more flair. Yeah, I think you mean Spanish league there. I wouldn't say Italian league have more flair. Italian league and EPL to me is a little more similar. Italian league is a little more methodical though. The approach, the game don't go quite as fast as EPL game, and La Liga is a fast pace but highly technical. Um, yeah. We say sports max a whole long the thing. Yeah, bro, they're not taking the thing serious, man. And the stupidest reason me here why them not show the game them, but me not talk about it because I don't know if it's true. That's some here. Bless up DJ Gigs, what go on? Yeah man, some big baller forward man. Just in time for the right time, you know? World Cup qualifier, Gold Cup. Perfect timing. Alright people, so let's take a look at the Premier League table before we move on to the final segment of the show. We'll just preview and talk about the Champions League quarterfinal and stuff. All right, so this is the table, people. Hold on 1 second, people. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Let's go and watch the intermission here. Yo. Sorry about that, people. Sorry about that, people. I'm serious. I'm hearing something over the next side of the yard. Someone just say, yeah. Where's say thought? Just say allegedly. All right, Jamrock, I true. So allegedly, bro. Allegedly, the reason why Sportsmax ain't showing this round of games, or they ain't showed no live match since, I don't know, a couple of weeks now, is the contract was for 2 rounds of games plus the playoffs. So they have apparently reached their quota of regular season games, and they don't. I think Sportsmax is under new ownership or something, so they're really tightening up the budget, and they don't want to spend nothing more than what them said they was going to spend. So yeah, it's all about a money thing why they're not showing it. But my thing is like, yo, at some point you have to realize that you're a partner with the league. Like, yes, it's a monetary thing, but like, you know, you want to build up that that trust in the fan base. And this is not how you do it. This is just not how you do it. It's very short-sighted on the side of Sportsmax to me. But I ain't paying for it, so it's easy for me to say that still. You miss what reveal? Which reveal that now? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, me not reveal it yet. Me not reveal the standings yet. No. You don't miss nothing yet. That's the last thing we're gonna do after me look on the table. Game rough and rugged down the stretch, 60-60, under 3 minutes to go. Thank you, Gunners. Because I watched the Hornet game, and me know by the time that game they done, I like the last couple of minutes of this game I gonna reach out. That I want to see. So I'm glad to see the game close at least. So can see the ending. Ooh, miss. That's one thing with Houston, the man a big offensive rebound that dog down there. Yo, Kelvin Sampson. Can't believe the man is so old now. Long the man there, coach. And the first time I reach finals, man. And some good team him have over the years, But that's off number 11, for sure. Yes, it's going to be Florida ball. So Walter Clayton Jr. time now. Down one. How I haven't seen a church saying that the coach a bad mind Bobby Reed. Oh, because Bobby Reed ain't the people don't really fight for Bobby Reed like that. Even though no, I shouldn't say that. Bobby Reed is probably one of the more beloved reggae boys, to be honest. One time Bobby Reed used to get some beaten for that USA match miss. It just erase anything good that Bobby Reed ever do. That one miss there. Rude was my baller, but I'm saying that DJ Bobby scored in a game and was benched the following game. Leicester has not scored a goal in about 10 games now. Yeah, they said that the last goal they scored at home was Bobby Reed in December. I'm like, yeah, Bobby Reed sit down there in a big jacket, just a chill. Chris Williams and Owen Hill need to know, say, I can make more money than Sportsmax showing the games on YouTube. Boy, if the man them free it up, and especially like all the production today, obviously them would need better cameras, but at least them have the timer run and the scoreboard on the screen, and it'll look little better. But they would have to step up them camera things still. They would have to step up them camera thing for sure. Because obviously when you talk about making more money, they would have to at some point, I don't think them could just get by on views alone. Maybe still. And who knows, maybe people would actually, people now to join the, people are joining the JFF live thing. So maybe people will join that as well. Who knows? Red Skull say, Hala Madrid. Bowser gets beaten all when him score. You can't please Jamaicans. Yeah, no, we are difficult to please still, to be honest. In a way, we're difficult to please, and then other times I don't think we are. It's weird. Because we're satisfied with any little thing. All right, real quick. This is the table. Southampton relegated. They have what? 7 more games to play. So 21 points wouldn't even get them to safety if they win 7 in a row. So they are done. Leicester, 17 points. They're getting close to that threshold as well. If Wolves win a match, if they continue to lose, Ipswich was close to getting a point, but Larson got Wolves back over the line 2-1. 1 point lead for Florida, first lead since 8-6. My gosh. Wolves not safe mathematically, but looking better and better with each week. Now up to 32 points with another win. West Ham with the draw got to 35 points. Everton wobbling slightly now. Not really wobbling because not losing that many matches, but drawing like every match. They lead the league in draws now with 14. They have 35 points. Tottenham, 37 points in 14th position after their win. Ridiculous that they're all the way in 14th, but their goal difference is plus 13. Like they belong way up the table. But no, they're all the way down here. Man United, 38 points now for them after that draw. Brentford, 42 points for them after drawing with Chelsea. Crystal Palace with a nice jump, have a game in hand and a few teams around them as well. They are on 43 points now after their 2-1 win. Bournemouth again dropping points. They drew with West Ham to go to 45 points. Crazy where they are falling in the past few weeks after getting all the way up to 5th at one point. Now they are down in 10th on 45 points. Brighton, same with them. They were up to 5th, 6th as well. Now down to 9th after they weren't able to get the job done against Crystal Palace. So they're at 47. They drop a place. Fulham, with their win, jumped over them to 48 points now. And they have an outside shot again if results can go their way to get into, not only the conference or the Europa, but maybe even they can dream to get all the way up to those Champions League places. Aston Villa, again, with a big win, getting to 51 points now. They're still outside the top 6, but definitely within striking range. Only 2 points off of the top 4 currently. Aston Villa, though, will have the drawback of not having the best goal difference currently of all their competitors around them for those top European places. They're well behind, so that's like an extra point in the bank for all those teams ahead of them. So Villa will definitely have to get that advantage points wise over any of their competitors to get in to that slot. Sixth position, Man City switched places with Newcastle after their win. They were only able to draw at Old Trafford, so they're on 52 points now in sixth position. Newcastle moved back into the top 5 with their win. They are on 53 points now. Chelsea drew. They basically stayed in fourth at 53 points, but now Newcastle, City, Aston Villa are breathing down their necks. Fulham and Brighton with an outside shot. Bournemouth will need a minor miracle, but they would still feel like they have a chance as well, because why give up, right? They're only 8 points off the top 4 currently. Nottingham Forest couldn't gain on Arsenal. In fact, Arsenal gained a point on them after their loss. They're on 57 points currently. Arsenal moved up to 62, but really should be on 64 at this point or even more. And then Liverpool, after their second loss of the season in the league, they stayed on 73 points. So 7 matches to play for the top 4 currently. And really and truly, the only race right now, I would say, is for that 3rd, 4th, and potentially that 5th slot would go to the Champions League as well. So that means the 7th place team would at least get the bonus of getting the Conference League. So let's see how this one gonna play out. I think this top 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 race is gonna go right down to the final week. I was worried about Arsenal getting dragged back into that type of race, but I haven't seen the consistency from these teams below us. I think it would have had to have been a consistent run by Nottingham Forest or Chelsea for the last few weeks for us to really get pulled back into any kind of race. Now it's only 5 points, so Nottingham Forest can definitely pass us. I feel a bit safer about the Chelsea gap, but then again, you never know how it's gonna play out moving forward. But let's see. Of course, we have the big thing to worry about this week, and that is the Champions League quarterfinals. So let's see You can play more than one position, but I'm about to go to championship, so the coach got no choice. It's easy to blame the bigger entity. The PFJL increased the rounds and number of games. They should have worked it out with Sportsmax. It's a business. But Football Guru, the PFJL don't have the power to put more games in there. Isn't that the JFF like competitions committee or technical committee? Wouldn't they make the recommendation to PFJL? And I guess yes, they have the final say, but why wouldn't they work off the recommendation of what the football people telling them they need to do for development and all these things? So yeah, I'm not saying it's not a business. I totally agree with that, but don't say, oh, so you're saying Sportsmax in this case is the bigger entity. Well, I blame all the parties because they're all the ones that need to sit down at a table and sort it out. But at the end of the day, too many times, the ones who get the shaft are the fans. And then everybody cuss when turnout low for games and all these things, but we're not fan friendly enough with the football. Like, make it accessible to people, bro. And you don't have to make it free. Make me pay for it, but don't give me the. They didn't even give me the option today to watch a game. They're just not showing games. That can't be how it can work. Like, all right, if you know you're going into your thing for money, like how about Sportsmax has a YouTube channel. How about you say, listen, we're going to, if you want to watch this game or this double header, we're going to charge whatever dollars. That can recoup your cost that you're going over because you didn't have 3 rounds of games in the contract that you signed. But the minute that JFF and PFJL decide we're going to have 3 rounds of games, the first thing you need to do is set a meeting right after that with the Sportsmax people and say, yo, we need to figure out how we're going to televise this 3rd round. And you negotiate or you do what you need to do, but you can't just not sit at the table. I'm not saying negotiate the contract, I'm saying if the JFF, because the PFJL will not just put it up on their head to say we're going to have 3 rounds. As a matter of fact, the way how Chris Williams explained it was that they wouldn't really want to have 3 rounds, but they are working off the recommendation of the JFF because they said that the people need to play more football. So I'm saying if the JFF tells the PFJL to make this move, they make the move, right? How is it that the people that are going to televise the league don't have a sit down about televising the 3rd round and Kelvin Sampson lose again to Royal card? My brother assault. Fulham and Brighton will get there. Nope. If Newcastle get Champions League, there will be 2 English teams in the Conference League. If Newcastle get Champions League, there will be 2 English teams in the Conference League. So no team now go to Europa? I understand. The PFJ runs and manages JPL. JPL does not go. Yeah. I know they don't negotiate a TV contract. I'm just saying there's several entities working, should be working together. But it's clear, like most things in Jamaica, this man want to do what he want to do, that man want to do what he want to do, and nobody not sit down and collaborate and make sure everything, all parties involved are on the same page. We're not a same page type of people. We're not depend on that. I'll do my thing my way over there, so, and hopefully it work out with them thing they want going over there. So. But that's such a haphazard way to do things. But we do that all the time. All the time. There's no defense of this guru. I don't care who you want. Some people have to get blame, everybody. If you want to put percentage on the blame, yeah, the TV people them and the PFJL people them get a bulk of it. But at the same time, you have to put some on the JFF too, because I guess the technical committee cannot be thinking about, the league marketing and all these things. They're just making recommendations based on what they deem to be the right thing to do for the development of the football. But the ones that are tasked with making sure the marketing is up and the viewership and showing the games, they need to sit down and have the conversation. Two in Europe, two as well. Remember, Newcastle win the cup, so they might want to qualify for Conference League. Okay, so League Cup is already Conference League. Okay. And if you take the CL, the other team get the extra spot. Okay. So, and they beat Liverpool, who are already going to be qualified for the Champions League. Okay, so it's just the next team in the table when I get the spot then. All right, let's see what you say now. I see what you're saying now, Skull. I'm following. All right, so let's last couple minutes of the day of the show. All right. Before we go over to the game then for the Champions League, let me show you guys how the FPL go on this week. Not really pleased with my performance, to be honest, but we tried, people. We tried. So this is the league that I'm playing in for fantasy. Somehow I'm still in third place. I don't know how Demo don't pass me yet. But he's getting closer and closer every week. 60 points for him, 44 for me. This was actually the week to make a comeback, If I could have had a nice 80, 90 point week, 100 point week, for the first time in a while, the leader of the league had a poor week, Biggs G and I had the same amount. But it wasn't a good week for a lot of people in this league. Demo was the only one to get the 60, but I got 44. And this is how we got there, people. So I did play my wild card. So this is all a brand new team, basically. I kept Raya. I know Gabriel was out, so I just replaced him with Saliba. I just feel like Arsenal defense is a good way to double up. I picked up Livermore and Munoz. Those were obviously good pickups. 11 and 8, they got me there. Rogers is someone that I had for most of the season, and I dropped him, but I made sure to get him back for this run that he's going into now. And this is where I really messed up in midfield. I went with Sarr, Saka, Salah, and Elanga. Elanga, really and truly, I didn't love the Aston Villa matchup, but at the same time, he has been really firing of late. Of course, he goes down, halftime has to come out, Forest played the better football of the game in that second half, and I would like to think if he was playing, maybe he gets on the goal scoring or the assist chart, but it wasn't meant to be. Saka, of course, rested, so that was really kind of dumb of me to play Saka from the start, but at the same time, I'm like, Saka can still come off the bench and score. Marmoush, I thought, let me down. I figured he would score in the derby, but what I never studied was like most of his output come from home games this season since he's been there. So wasn't really digging deep enough into that. I just like the player and just hadn't had him in fantasy, so I got him. And then Sarr, it was him or Eze. I went with the cheaper option, and Eze would have been much better because I think he had 2 assists and definitely was a man of the match. And of course, I didn't captain Salah because he's been so dead lately, and I captain Isak this time, and he just didn't get on the score sheet. So, and then Mateta was on my bench. So yeah, I effed up people. I did all right in some spots like these defensive pickups and stuff, but I didn't get enough from my midfield at all. And my forward line was dud because I benched my most productive forward for the week, which was Mateta. So yeah, didn't really play my cards right enough for this week, people, to be honest. But look, I played my wild card, and a lot of these teams have double game weeks and all kind of things coming up. So we'll see how it plays out. Mateta definitely will be starting because he has a double game week coming up pretty soon, and we'll try to get it going. But it's gonna be hard for me to make a comeback because I don't have any more chips left. I use all my assistant manager, my free hit, my bench boost, everything gone. So it's gonna be tough, but miracles happen, and we'll just have to pray for a miracle. So that is how the fantasy league is going. I'm in 2 draft leagues as well, which I'm tearing up both. So this one I have a nice 100 and odd point lead. I even scored more in the draft league than the damn fantasy league where you get double points and all that madness there. But yeah, in this one, Evan Nielsen, Muniz, Semenyo really carry me, and Trossard as well. And I picked up Evan Nielsen and Trossard, I think, this week, so that was good. Yeah, did the right decisions with this team. And then in my other league, Also in first place, almost 200 odd points in this one. This one I had 52. So yeah, I outscored my actual fantasy team with my 2 draft teams. That's not good. 52 points here. I picked up Pope and Trippier this week to play Leicester. That was good. Um, yeah, Morgan Rogers on this team, and I have Evan Nielsen on this team too. So yeah, I made good decisions this week. Cunha finally back, so I kept him all this time. So hopefully he can give me something. But yeah, I should be good to go barring a serious collapse in both of those. I know one of them is a money prize and the other one is a jersey. So people let me know in the comment section, let me know what jersey should I get? What jersey should I get, people? I've gotten it's 2 jerseys I got. I can't remember how many jerseys I got, you know. I win this 2 years in a row. As a matter of fact, this year they was like contemplating not to let me play. so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's no link up this year, bro. Madness. I guess because they added all those games, they didn't have anywhere to fit in the cup or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. Sound better, Jason Gooner. You're now considering both sides. At first, you were burning out Sports Max. No, not just Sports Max. I mean, it was mainly because the comment section kind of led me there, but I know they're not the only ones at fault here. No way. No, I don't want them to absorb it, but they need to. This is where you get creative and you figure out another way to not because look, at the end of the day, people don't understand the importance of goodwill with the fan base because the fans are the ones that's going to make you the money in the end, but they have to believe in the product, and this does not instill belief. You know what I mean? Like when them say you have to spend some to earn some. I think this is one of those situations, And as I said, it's easy for me to say guru because I ain't footing the bill. I'm just saying, I've operated business before, and there's times when you have to bite your lip and just absorb some, not a loss, but you have to take a risk, and this to me would be a risk. It was a low scoring fantasy week. Big up Andrew Wagwan. Serial gamblers a lone score high. You see it. Them win one, lose one star. Them get a hot 2-1 beaten. The side score a 2 set piece goal them score. Yeah, 2 set piece goal them score. And then we forward and score a set piece con as well. And then we get some chance to score the ball, go over the line. But no, the second goal with them scoring at the game was not a set piece goal. It was a half-side goal. The girl was behind our defense. The ball play over, she run it down. And it was basically a 1v1 with the keeper, and she finished it. And the linesman or the assistant over that side said that the girl made the run from in her half, but it wasn't. Him just made the wrong call, That's how it goes still. But yeah, they lost the first one, and then she won the second game later in the afternoon. I think they won that one mostly 4-2. So them lose 2-1 and win 4-2. So not the worst, not the best split. And the team that we lost to, I would say it was a pretty even team, So we should at least get a point out of that game there. The second one we were the favorites to win and we handled business, Yeah. All right. So the next thing I wanted to do, the big reveal, people, the big reveal. So everybody that tune into this show, you know that every week we have whoever wants to play, they do the predictions and everything. So we do have the results of week 31. So I'm gonna put up first because it's less exciting to me than the donkey of the week. So we're gonna put up first the champion for the week, people. So week 31, drum roll please. The champion of the week is Biggs G. Big up to Biggs G, one of the big supporters of the channel. Been busy a lot lately, so I want to really see him with the live content, but him always checking, dropping predictions in the comment section. So big up to Biggs G. As I said, it was a rough week for everybody. 500, 5-5 was the top, but here we do give the tiebreaker for the correct scores of games. So Biggs G, three games that he predicted perfect was the 1-1 with Everton and Arsenal, the 2-1 Aston Villa over Forest, and the 3-1 Tottenham over Southampton. So big up to Big G. As you can see, it was a log jam, 5-5. Jason Gooner TV, Mass Sports World, and Nitro, all 5-5 with 2 correct. Then Float Management and Pristine, both with the same identical 4-6 with 2 games correct. And Andrew Pang, big up, new supporter, new subscriber in the building, took part last week and just escaped getting Donkey of the Week with a 4-6 with no correct scores. Now the next drum roll will have to come for the Donkey of the Week, people. And this Donkey of the Week, I would have to say, I didn't like to see it. It's two of the people that are always present in the shows. So we hate to see when them never win. You know what I mean? But yeah, my two brother them, Hot Chili and Red Skull, always bantering each other in the comment section. They just want it to be the same this week. 3-7 on the week with 2 scores correct out of the 3 that they did predict. So that's, I guess, something good to to think about. You were able to predict 2 of the games right out of the 3 you got. But Hot Chili and Red Skull, hee ha, you guys are the donkeys of the week. Yes, people, Hot Chili and Red Skull, two of the most avid supporters that are always tuned in. You hate to see it, people. You hate to see it. Andrew Panga, get to it. You know, we could have blamed, it's your first time and everything, but you didn't get it. You didn't get it, Andrew Pang. You didn't get it. Donkey of the Week this week. They had to share it with each other. They're always arguing in the comment section, but they didn't realize that they're on the same team this week, and that's the Donkeys team. Hot Chili, Red Skull. Sad to say it, my brothers, you are the Donkey of the Week. Yes, people. So that is the Donkey of the Week, people. The big reveal. Float Management was asking for it. There it is. Donkey of the Week. That is the Donkey of the Week. Hot Chili and my boy Red Skull. Big up on yourself. And thanks for playing to all that did. Next week, we'll be back again Friday night with a preview show. So if you want to take part in that, it's very, very interesting. We go through the games, we preview the games. After I talk about the games, we all drop scores for that particular game, and I document them. And I've been keeping track from the season start, people. So, yeah, man. So Nitro said, I can bet Hot Chili got both Arsenal and Man City scores wrong. So let's see. Hot Chili went for the 1-0 Arsenal victory, so he got that wrong. And the Man City game, he went for a 3-2 City win. So yes, he got both of those wrong. Chili, I follow your percent. Shadow. Yo, that's hilarious to me that you guys got identical scores, But to be fair, you guys didn't miss the same games. Like you guys, well, no, you got the Tottenham game, the Newcastle game. Red Skull got the Wolves game right, and Chile got the Crystal Palace Brighton game right. So 2 of them you had the same, actually. But yeah, somehow I want to end up with the same damn thing, bro. It's crazy. Pang same day, Fred Star, Red Skull are dead. Sean and Jamrock are dead. We don't need for play too. And then they laugh after the man. Them. We don't need for play. We might end up donkey, ride the donkey next week. All right, so people, the last thing we're going to people, because we're basically just past the 2-hour mark. So before I go away, people, before I go away and call it a night, let's just go through the Champions League game, then, people. And we're only going to predict the first leg of the games, right? We're not going to say who's going to win the tie just yet. We're not going to go too far. So let me just get on screen right fast so you guys can see. I'm sure all of you that are football fans, you guys know the games, but I'm just going to show you on the screen just to make it easier for you. So yeah, these are the games, people. So tomorrow, 2 big ones. Arsenal, Real Madrid at the Emirates, and Bayern and Inter. So for me, people, look, everybody knows how Arsenal reacted when they come on to this. I think if we have any joy, it's going to be coming in this first leg. So put it this way, we have to do something in this game to have a chance, right? And I just feel like when I look at when I think about last season, right, when we played Bayern in the first leg, And I know Real Madrid is probably a better team than Bayern, right? But Bayern ain't no slouch team. And I thought in the first leg of that quarterfinal last year, we were really good. And we were just wasteful in the first half. We didn't put them away when we had them. I'm thinking we're gonna have a spell like that tomorrow. And if we can be clinical like we have been in Champions League so far, because we haven't really created that many chances, but we've won games, 3, 4. We beat that one team, what was it, 6 or whatever it was. And that was just because we're really clinical. So if we can take advantage of that spell, Real Madrid is shaky around the back, people. I'm telling you. It's not like this is a just unbeatable team. They're very hard to stop. They're going to score their goals, no question about it. But I'm telling you, we will get chances against this team. And they're very weak from set pieces. They've been conceding set piece goals like crazy. We have been labeled set piece FC, so I don't know how that works. But look, for me, we'll get the win tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be enough, but I think we do scrape a win tomorrow. I think we'll win the game 2-1 tomorrow. Arsenal 2-1. I was going to say 3-1, I'm going to say 2-1 because we're not going to put away our damn chances. So 2-1 to the Arsenal, just to give us some hope. I don't think that's going to be enough of a cushion when we go to the Bernabeu, but 2-1 tomorrow and I'll feel good. So 2-1 is what I'm going to go with. Bayern Inter. I think this one might be a 0-0, man. 0-0 or 1-0 to either side. But I'm gonna say 0-0. Inter is a difficult team to break down, bro. And I just have a feeling like it's gonna be so cagey tomorrow in this particular one that it's gonna end 0-0. If there's a result, 1-0 Bayern. But I'm gonna go on a limb and say 0-0. Not the most, not the not the not inspiring many people to watch the game, but I'm gonna say 0-0 Bayern and Inter. And I could be wrong, but I'm just thinking 0-0. All right, Barcelona Dortmund, people. Maybe 3-2 Barca or 2-1 Barca. No, I'm gonna say 3-1 Barcelona. 3-1 Barcelona. And then PSG Aston Villa. Ooh, this one is over in France, no? Yeah, I think at the Parc de France, bro. PSG gonna topple them. I think it has potential to be a really bad one, but I think Martinez keeps the score relatively decent. I'm gonna say Aston Villa do score on like a transition type of play, but yeah, I'm gonna give this one to the home team again. I think PSG going to the first leg, so I'm tempted to say 3-1, but I think Martinez pull off some rotted save and keep it at 2. So 2-1. So all right, me I jot down my little score them people. But now I got no donkey of the week, but I just want to make sure me write down at least mine. So Arsenal 2-1 to RM. What would it say? 0-0 Bayern and Inter. Let's see how wrong these are. Barcelona 3, Dortmund 1, and PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Yeah, so some seat going into the first leg, people. Where it's a 3-1 Arsenal. Wow, I love that. I think we need at least a 2-goal cushion for real, But I just feel like we're going to waste some chance, score. That I feel. What kind of donkey thing this? Yeah, look of fun, Sean. Look of fun. Gunners can beat Real Madrid. They're not so solid this season. Yeah, we can. I mean, it's possible. I just don't know if we can handle the waves. You know, when we go to the Bernabeu and the man them start put it on. That's all I'm worried about. That's why I'm saying we need a 2-goal buffer at least. But I just feel like we'll get the chance and forget the 2-goal lead and just not finish. Even when Madrid not playing well, Arsenal ain't winning nothing. So you're making this about Arsenal flow, but the man is making a good point in that Madrid has been shaky. They just lost to Valencia on the weekend. The worst team, but yet we only lose 3 games. Yeah, I don't know why people. Well, I do know why people, because we have a history of not quite getting it all the way over the line. So people can say what they want to say. But if you just look on the team right now, like we're not that bad. We just had some really bad injuries, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Musiala injured, no? Chano. 3-1 Madrid, Inter 3-1 to Skull. Yo, Inter is just a team where when them a play away from home, brother, then we just relax and just take the nil all in the boss and just go home and go win the game, you know. And Bayern me say nil all too because we just feel like Inter just stop them from score, you know what I mean? Hope gone on vacation. 2-all Barca says Skull, 2-1 PSG says Skull. So yeah. Arsenal 1-all. Andrew said 2-1 Bayern. Alright. Harry Kane not winning shit. I'm lucky my baller Verts injured. Yo, Verts a baller, you know. I rate that youth there from Leverkusen. Bad. Red Scholar did we laugh. Yeah, people. So alright. Since we're up on the topic, I could just run through real quick before my leg up. As I said, people, all matter tomorrow, content wise, Reggae Girls live watch along, nighttime people. So I don't know if I don't know, might go on bed still, but I try to make the thumbnail from tonight. And once in a see it, people, just please do share it, smash the like button, just make some numbers go on it from early. So that by the time I turn on the live, yeah man, everything can go on. So I don't have it set by round. Oh, this man. Alright, so Bodo Glimt and Lazio. I go with Bodo Glimt, you know. Yeah, Bodo Glimt, I'll take the first leg. I'll say 1-0. No, 2-1. 2-1. Leon Manu over France. Shirky, I got mad them. 3-1 Leon. Kill them. Like I said, kill them too. Tottenham and Frankfurt. What a game. Alright, so Frankfurt kind of up and down, you know, brother. But Tottenham worse up and down. Alright, I'm gonna say this game in 2-all. Both teams get some goal, 2-all. Then Rangers and Athletic Club. This should be a good time. I think these teams are pretty even, honestly. In Scotland though, yeah, I give it Rangers the edge. So I'm gonna say 3-2 Rangers at home. That should be a wicked game still. 3-2 Rangers. So yeah, all those games will be Thursday. All these games will be literally the same time. Conference League. I don't even know half of them see, man. But let me see. Conference League. I watch a lot of football, but I couldn't tell you all of them team. Legia versus Chelsea. Yo, Legia are going to smash them at home, you know, man. Maybe not smash them. I will say 1-all. Legia and Chelsea 1-all. Betis will win in Spain. 2-1 Betis in Spain. Sele. I said this one 1-all. And Djurgården, some real upset at the last round, you know, man. The man them Jergard, now them are difficult, man. I think Rapid better than. I'm gonna say Jergard and draw as well, so 1-1. Yeah. But yeah, surprise. I think Chelsea now go win that game. I think they're gonna draw that first leg. Yeah. That's what me feel still. They might lose too. But yeah, interesting one, people. Those are the ones, but really and truly, the ones that are really jacked down was the Champions League. So Arsenal 2-1 over Real Madrid. 0-0 Bayern Inter. Red Skull semi a madman, but watch the space. Barca 3, Dortmund 1, and PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Those are my 4 scores. And we have the chat, we have the comments will be there. The comments will be there forever. So if more reference what we did say, me just look back in the comments. Yeah, man, that's all I have to do. But people, we have forwarded to the end of the show. Again, it was my pleasure to bring you this content. We covered the EPL in full. We covered the champion for the week. Big up to Biggs G. We also covered the donkeys of the week. And I say donkeys because it was 2 of you this week. I'm bridging them. But they were the donkeys of the week. Red Skull and Hot Chili, big up on yourself every time. But you need to do better with the picks. And then we also spoke about the FPL. Saw how my team did this week in the Fantasy Draft League and the Fantasy Leagues. And also we went through some UCL previews. Didn't really preview it that much, but just basically did the predictions and also a quick predictions for the Europa and the Conference League. But you don't know, people, as I said before, Jason Gooner TV will be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll have on the reggae girls. Well, not the reggae girls, but we'll have on the Jamaica kit. I'll be doing a live match watch along. Of course, we fell to Mexico 3-0 on Saturday. We have the second match in the series in Houston, I believe, and that's tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. my time, 7:30 Jamaica. So we're going to have a live stream for that so that we can go ahead and bring that live watch along to you guys. So yeah, man, as I said, it's kind of late right now, people. So if I'm being totally honest with myself, I probably will not make that thumbnail until tomorrow when I reach home. So really won't be able to see it from early. But the good thing is I know for sure I'm going live. So just make sure to turn on the notification. Maybe what I'll do is once the thumbnail is made, I'll just drop it in the community tab with the link so that you guys can click on it before I start and drop some likes on it. See? Yeah, man, please and thanks. But big up on yourself, people. Thanks again for tuning in. Let me just do one last check on the likes for the video. See if we reach. All right, nice. Yeah, I just want to get them few more there. So thank you so much for those likes, people. And again, respect for tuning in. Big up to all the people in where they are. Red Skull, of course, at Chile, Pristine, BM, 876 Jamrock. Big up Andrew Pang. Big up DJ Gigs. Eddie Gooner did pass through. Big up Sean. Big up Nitro. Big up DJ Gigs. Big up Football Guru. Who else did pass through tonight? Big up Rob Smith as well. Big up Nigel Garden. Big up to Craig Taylor. Big up yourself. Way out of, you're the farm, I have to call it. Charles Brahma, big up yourself. Bianconeri Boss, Jeezy, Lee Young, Owen. Yeah, man, all those who may never name, big up on yourself as well. And again, people, my name is Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And until next time, come on, you Gooners!